Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, HeroicServant, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to a 1 versus 1 on a crossroads between the north. We got here HeroicServant fighting for Germany, the Fatherland, Deutschland for the Führer, Grenadier Brigade versus in the south we got Dave fighting for America, freedom and democracy. Here taking on the role of the 9th Armored Division. We're looking at Elite Troops power here straight from HeroicServant with course concussive light or G43s here, stormtroopers, panzer tactician, and tiger aces with infantry machine gun bolts versus tactical support, armor company, and heavy cavalry here from Dave, aka Classy Dave, with extra munitions. That is the munitions cache bulletin. Interesting. Grenade bullets of extra range and infantry. Interesting setup there for Dave. We got a top rifle start for him. We got an MD42 grenadier start there for HeroicServant as he moves westwards. Slowly advancing there. With Dale, of course, more swiftly moving ahead since he doesn't have anything to build. Rapidly heading westwards there. So he's all getting ready to sort of spread out across the map. Slowly but surely. MD42 heading for the fuel pond there. So it's going in pretty aggressively for trying to set up just as swiftly as possible. They're a bit aggressive, but at the same time, unless Dave specifically rushes forward, he should be safe. Then in fact, Lamps was just more easily just set up for it, so that could actually be sort of an interesting capping order there from HeroicServant. Going points there, we got more rifle on the way there for Dave. Slowly securing things here. Second gun has got almost done there for HeroicServant in the south. There we go. Almost got everything but the victory point there in the eastern corner, southeastern corner specifically. Because there's obviously 2 eastern corners, but there's only 1 southeastern corner. Third rifle squad there for Dave, almost done as well. You got barbed wire here to make it a bit harder for Dave to push normal. 74 just setting up here. In this case, it's going to prevent Dave from being able to just sort of sneak up for him and get behind the MD40. He basically has to attack straight onto it, if you will. But of course, there's still this area that's sort of a bit exposed. Sandbags up here from Dave's probably gone straight for heavy cavalry, so both players are going for early doctrinal choice. In this case of Dave, he's also quick to actually make use of the doctrines. That's actually nice to notice there from Dave. Very nice to notice. First shot tried here, Grenadiers holding up inside the central house, rifle moving up from one side, others holding up here. Grenadiers will soon find themselves overwhelmed here by the sheer numbers here from the riflemen. A lot of fire they can sort of get to fire there at the riflemen or the Grenadiers. In these rifles they got more sandbags. Again, Dave's sort of just setting up sections for everything. And he's actually building a very early munitions cache there. Again, we're talking, you know, not even 3 minutes have passed and Dave is building a munitions cache. Again, in this case, again, it's slightly cheaper and also faster to build. So, very interesting that he's basically going to blitz ahead in terms of munitions ahead of his opponent. It's going to be interesting to see how much it actually sort of has an impact on the battle, how long it stays and so on there. But, could be interesting to note what he's sort of trying to do with that. We got a fighting position going up. Pierce is going to try and cover that with a 50 cal, maybe some rifle grenades as well. That will also help explain the early munitions cache. In this case, cancels it. Perhaps decides it's not quite good enough or too far behind. You know, there's a series of choices there Dave could be sort of making there. There go moves it slightly further forward. It's a bit more risky, but again, set up correctly, could do a lot of damage there to HeroicServant, make it hard for him to push through the centre. In these riflemen, they're flanking the Grenadiers-ish. I mean, they're sort of light cover, so it's a lot hard to flank them unless it depends on it. I mean, with some light cover like this, as long as you're in it, you're sort of covered, but again, with other light cover, it can be sort of more directional. Rifle what's getting wiped there. Really close being wound up behind concussive grenades up. We've got the reason setting up inside here. No 50 cal being added though to the fighting position. Pioneers moving ahead here. There we go. We got rifle grenades flying through the air, and there we go. Almost got the Pioneers. Need to retreat there out of the fighting position before they get scorched. Got gunners moving up. There, concussive grenades straight into the wipes the entire unit. Now it's become a dying position. Yes, that's a good one, Helmut. Dying position. Yeah, so it's poor devils. And Dave apparently did not see that one coming. Sorry, you do have to stand in all of the dead people. Yes, Private Gomer, you have to.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
MD42 grabbing the point there, so we can see Dave running into some issues there, partly due to some unexpected developments there from HeroicServant, who's pushing up the east heart pretty there. We've got riflemen reinforcement, we've got a lieutenant following up for Dave here, and the fighting position. Again, interesting to note, he's still not upgrading it, so he might have just planned it just for the rifle grenades here, which is certainly interesting to note, but not for the 50 cal machine gun. Rifle grenade here fails, get caught on the side of the house. Jürgen, I thought I told you to aim higher, Sensat, Jürgen. God damn it, Jürgen. Talk back to me or I'll slap you. Again.
We have a
There you go, back to rifle grenades.
Is being overrun.
Gonna do versus rifleman there, and in the west we've got a rifle setting up for a flank there, and trying to get past MD42. Very nice over there by Dave.
Tanks now have defensive
And here
smoke
in the east,
capability.
rifleman versus large grenadier force there. Gus has the heavy cover, but so does the grenadiers. He doesn't have grenades. The Germans do. So right here, that is not going to be a favourable engagement, I think, for Dave long term. But again, he was able to flank the MD42. He's pushing a bit up there. We got another concussive grenade here. In this case, though, more corpses aren't added to the fighting pit. Instead, we've got a stormtrooper squad there already at the front line, obviously. A pioneers moving ahead. We have light to make a nice company up. Could go for a half track to sort of supplement the front line presence. 2-2s. Or pack 40s or panzer grenadiers. I mean, there's several options here for HeroicServant, though if it's gone for stormtroopers, at least one squad with assault rifles would be a, I think, very solid choice for HeroicServant. Rifle sitting up to the west. Taking a few hits. Finally putting down to half. Don't forget the M20 on the way for Dave. Lieutenant moving in there. Grenadiers. Ooh, did not work out well there with a grenade. Dave floating a lot of munitions. I mean, he's got the munitions cache, but again, he's just not utilising it for anything. Which rather begs the question, what exactly is Dave planning here? What is the plan of Dave? Starts watching his fighting position getting wrecked there. MD42, they're firing out. The rifles are pressing them. Back here, reinforcement going on. M20 almost down there for Dave with minesweepers. So he's actually utilised some of his munitions now.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Lieutenant moving up the east. More harassment here in the west. And if he's trying to harass his opponent, fuel bomb. In this case, we've got stormtroopers. We've got the MD42 here, making it hard for Dave to do that. And there you go. We got the M10 utility car. We got the armoured skirts. I mean, he could be planning. He's actually planning to lay down a lot of mines with them. Last we said up long term with the munitions cast. In which case, that's actually pretty interesting from Dave. That is actually pretty interesting, and certainly some very longer term he's planning. At least sort of, you know, for that kind of sort of level of play, which is high level, by the way. And most players would never do what Dave is doing. But again, if he does make it work, it's going to be very potent, because a lot of M6 anti-tank mines can really throw things off for any German player if suddenly they find, you know, their tanks suddenly can't move. Otto, did you remember to fill the panzer? Ja. Then why aren't we moving? I don't know. I guess I'll have to go check. And there you go, we got the first one down there from Dave. And meanwhile, we got an ambulance arriving there as well for Dave. He's probably spotted the munitions cache by now, though, of course, will HeroicServant be able to sort of figure out what's going on with it? Also using the M20 there to secure the point. A bit more risky. I mean, there's the option for someone to think about he just stealing the M20, but Dave is quick to fall back. Getting in the pioneers. Fuel pod and these being secured here by HeroicServant's bold grenadiers and before securing there. Stormtroopers still not seeing any sign of upgrade. I mean, he could go for a Patrick W with M20, though he's in this case going for the 222 to deal with that here with the Fuhrer Grenadier Brigade, which was one of two brigades established right before Operation Herbst and Nebel. They're basically formed out of the spare bodyguard units that are sort of attached to the Wolfschanze on the eastern front, and so we're committed to well, Operation Herbst Nebel, the attack in the Ardennes. Little fun fact there. They were pretty much all, to an extent, mounted on bicycles as well as the infantry. In fact, there was several of them that was actually part of the Landsturm, which for those who might know was actually the predecessor of the Volkssturm, which was also, by the way, composed of old men, but it doesn't get talked about so much. It was basically sort of a militia unit that was utilised and sort of, in this case, used to form up some parts of the Fuhrer Grenadier and Fuhrer Big Light Brigades. They would actually later be formed into full divisions, as a fun fact. Again, Stormtroopers did go for the G43. I'm seeing more players go for it. Again, it's not necessarily a bad upgrade. It's just assault rifles are so much better on the Stormtroopers. You should at least get one Stormtrooper squad with assault rifles. That's at least my opinion. But anyways, troops are healing and reinforcing. Weapon racks on the way there. Again, that's also where the munitions cast helps them. It gives them more munitions long term for a lot more weapons. A lot more bang bang. Shooty shooty. Freedom.
Weapon rack is now open.
So healing here with the medic bunker up. HeroicServant creases, I think, take up now. And there we go, BAR's being handed out. There we got a Bazooka Team Malta formed up there. Alright, Bazooka Joe, my name's Carl. Well, Bazooka Carl doesn't work, so shut up, Bazooka Joe. Right, Sarge. Grenadiers moving ahead. Bazooka shots fired. We got the 2-2 there blasting away at the bazooka team at a safe distance. Grenadiers taking some lighter hits before we've got, and they're going up. Light machine gun fire raking out the advancing riflemen. In the east, they've got riflemen turning the MD42. Oh, it wasn't set up quite forward, and there we go, full retreat here. Lieutenant flanking up behind us. Even then, Dave was already setting up for a deeper flank. So even the MD42 to hold to the rifleman there, the lieutenant would have been right behind him and sort of just murdered it that way. Very nice work there by Dave. Complete collapse of the right flank for HeroicServant and the Field Grenadier Brigade. We got the 2-2 rolling out here to try and contain it with its machine guns and auto cannon. Up here, healing reinforcement going on. Stormtroopers moving towards the east now there. Rather than getting further aggressive, here's Dave sort of trying to now perhaps hook up and go for the car point that way, cutting off retreat for any units over in the west. I'm turning pushing up the west side, Mines for supporting here just in case that HeroicServant has laid down mines. We got a second Stormtrooper squad with more G43s. HeroicServant does not seem to be a fan of assault rifles at all. Certainly neglects them, which again I do feel is a mistake. But you know, we could see maybe it works out excellently for HeroicServant. But here, rifleman falling back, we got the M20 moving in, 2-2 moving up support as well. Needs to push there, but without any support weapons and the rifling heavy car with a BAR, unless it doesn't move in face of the concussive grenade, in which case the Germans could win that. We have no take up there yet for HeroicServant, despite I would say having ample resource advantage to do so. Dave, on the other hand, is actually taking up. So right there, HeroicServant, I think, needs to put the pedal to the blitzkrieg metal and, you know, begin taking up a bit further. Or at least, you know, go for some more light vehicles and push for an advantage. Now, you know, go for a half-tech, go some 2-2s, lay down some tunnel mines, and at least that way do something. And then maybe, you know, try and push for, I don't know, tier 4. But, you know, just doing nothing when your opponent's already taking ahead. Obviously, does know it, but, you know, always should try and keep it in mind. That's good there, HeroicServant. That's good. He got the munitions cache, but that one actually was around for quite a long time there. Probably around 9 minutes, which... it's about 45 munitions or so extra, which doesn't sound much, but still, you know, that's a mine or almost a BAR. That could still have an effect there on the overall Dave's munitions income in the longer term as well. So yeah, not too bad an investment there for Dave, not too bad. Ralph moving up there, Lieutenant flanking behind.
There's a major reporting for action.
Almost got the MD42. That's a pretty close, nasty loss there for Dave. There we got the Stormtroopers moving ahead with a G43 opening up close to the Lieutenant. Concussive grenade off. No. Bundle grenade. Oh. Dave did not see that coming, and the Lieutenant got obliterated. Then following up another grenade there. Too much going on there for Dave. Already crashed at the loss of the Lieutenant. Dave can't see through the tears as he almost loses another rifle squad, but barely is able to save it. And we got the replacement lieutenant on the way there. Dave, very much a believer in the chain of command. My God, there's no lieutenant. We have to get one.
Orders coming through.
Major moving eastwards.
The capture point is being overrun.
MD42 getting good to move. HeroicServant finally taking up. Going for some more pioneers. Going to build up a support on the core, I imagine. Good. Very good. Sehr good. In fact, he's now got a decisive map control there with Dave, so could easily push ahead with a quick tank or something there versus Dave, who then I imagine struggle a bit to deal with it. 2-2 Stormtroopers doing what they can here. Grenadiers being up with their lightest machine gun gewehr. 2-2 their veterans won 5 kills. And the Grenadiers here sneaking up behind. We got more light machine guns away there for HeroicServant. He's more than happy to get the Grenadiers light machine guns, but the Stormtroopers can't be asked to get assault rifles. Tisk, tisk, HeroicServant. Tisk, tisk. And we got an anti-strike call in from the Major on the MD42. He does react though. HeroicServant. Seeing the red smoke of doom, he falls back before the artillery lands. The house is in absolutely terrible condition. It's surprisingly durable. It took 3 artillery hits before it actually collapsed. Need to get that support crop fast and then get out of Panther 4. And at this stage, he could have theoretically, I think, gotten away with actually just going straight for a Panther Sturmpanzer if he wanted to, but for now that's obviously out of the picture.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And he's moving westwards. Stormtrooper squads there standing about, one close to Vet 72. Still no support corps. Mach schnell, HeroicServant. Germany needs its panzers, and Dave is now going for a mortar. Bringing up some light artillery to help deal with the krauts here. Keep them a bit more skittish. Not a bad idea though. Up to a lot versus any tanks, and again Davis at this stage more likely to get a tank before HeroicServant, despite HeroicServant having the resource advantage because HeroicServant didn't tech fast enough.
We're losing a capture point.
Rather than Lieutenant flank here, catching the enemy before it's in a pretty awkward spot. There we go, also got a pack 40 car in the centre. In the west here, Lieutenant, but on the M20 versus the Grenadiers. M20 suffering a bit of damage there as HeroicServant just keeps up the pressure on the sides there, though he of course also keeps attention in the centre a bit. But very importantly, he's not over-focusing in the centre, which again is a mistake a lot of players make. He actually, pays attention to the fuel flows, and that way he's actually, established himself quite a fuel advantage. Now, if he'd just been able to pay better attention to that one as well, he could have had a tank out much sooner, which would have, I think, had much more impact against Dave. I mean, he could use that one out close to 5 minutes ago. And it's almost in the first 10 minutes, so bit of a missed opportunity there by HeroicServant, bit of a fumble. We'll have to see how it works out. The Stormtroopers doing a lot of damage there. You got like concussive grenades. Stormtroopers almost right, but in this case do get saved. Bazookas flying at them and just not quite hitting. Still close to the Panther 4. He could also rush out an Osprey now. I mean, he's really had such map control or fuel control there versus Dave that it wouldn't be a half bad idea. Of course, we know from our perspective it's not quite that decisive, but we sort of consider how much resource HeroicServant has. I mean, again, though, that would probably be more like if he'd actually, got the support corps much sooner. He could have had an Osprey up, like, again, around the 12-minute mark, which would have been really great. For now, he probably needs to go for a Panther 4 because you can see Dave is realising he's actually in a bad spot, so he has to go for a tank destroyer fast. So, in that regard, I think Dave is making a pretty good decision there. Again, HeroicServant, on the other hand, is a bit falling behind in the good decisions race. Grenades off there. Almost got the Grenadiers. Panther 4 finally on the way there for HeroicServant, but again, so much later, despite again having a fat resource lead over Dave. So that's definitely, I think, something the room there for HeroicServant to improve upon. Though again, I do know, again, as to Wehrmacht, it's a lot tricky to keep in mind because, again, unlike the Americans, you can't just, click here, get the free unit, take up, and, take notes to get the building built all at the same time. Again, you have to do it all through here, then find a pioneer to build it, and then build it, and then of course do stuff. So, I mean, again, I know in terms of management, it's a lot more strenuous for a Wehrmacht player just to have sort of keep all that going, plus manage frontline units, plus keep the resources in mind. So I mean, I know it's not exactly easy, but still, he had such a huge fuel lead. It does feel a bit like a waste, to be honest. You got Lieutenant sneaking up there in the west, rather than hanging up here. Could flank about HeroicServant front line if he wanted to. But instead just goes to the fuel point. Looks like the Jackson swinging over to support that with its 90mm gun. And East M20 they're pushing back the Pioneers. Using his M20 very swiftly and agilely. He doesn't seem to have laid down any further M6 mines though. We got a smoke screen down here from the mortar. Very good work there. Very good work though. It doesn't achieve much. It's still, I suppose, something. Stormtroopers then moving up in the east. There we go. We got the Panther 4. Takes out one of the vehicle crew members, pops smoke and pulls away here. Before the Panther can find fear, can do much more harm. Mortar there pretty close to the front line. Good there. Rough munition standing about here in the west. Lieutenant, there's the Grenadiers and the supporting Stormtroopers. Needs some aid there to pull through. But I fear that aid will not be forthcoming for Dave's Lieutenant. Grenadiers on the way there for HeroicServant. Back here, he's going for the captain now, so he's basically going to go for all 3 tiers now. Interesting decision there by Dave. Interesting decision. We'll have to see how that one pans out. As for HeroicServant, the more armor, the faster, the better. And with the Jackson out, a Skook here, just another Panther 4 would be excellent choices. 2 Panther 4s can take it out. Skook supported by, or Panther 4 supported by Skook can obviously deal with it. Jackson overall is good versus sort of singular targets. Versus larger armoured forces, the Jackson tends to struggle due to its low rate of fire. So, I mean, any sort of pair of tanks, unless it's just a Panther 4 and Osprey, or Stugon Osprey, is going to be able to deal with it reasonably well. Simply because they can do a lot more damage faster than the Jackson.
You've got a captain hitting the field.
So the Jackson is very much good for, again, dealing with specific high priority targets, but again, you can't deal with any sort of larger German armoured formation. So if you have to deal with that specifically, then the Jackson is definitely the wrong choice. But so far, it's not really necessary there for Dave to have to deal with that. Though, again, looking at HeroicServant's fuel point, I mean, it's very much a possibility he could actually, aim for that. At which point, Dave will certainly be in a lot of trouble. But again, we'll have to see if HeroicServant actually goes that path or what he does. Got the M20 blitzing up, he's supported by the Jackson and moving up east with the next line support catching nearly 2-2. Shoots, barely hit, misses it, but it was close though, it was close. He probably could have gotten a good hit in there if the shot actually landed, and... bringing up anti-tank guns, an interesting choice there for Dave at this stage, but again, probably necessary as his opponent, he's not got enough resources for anything else, and he's really nervous about his opponent's armour. He's clearly not too worried about the infantry, otherwise he probably would have brought in some 50 calibers or maybe a pack howitzer, but he's clearly taking HeroicServant's armour dangerous, despite HeroicServant so far is not taking his own armour very serious, because again he's consistently just flooding so much fuel. A quick flank here with the Pioneers. Further west though, we actually got several miles down there from Dave to cover, flanking there from any sort of larger movements from HeroicServant and the Fuhrer Grenadier Brigade. Jack's moving up there, opening up the Panther 4, misses again. That's really not a good score there for the Panther 4. On the west, the Captain Reactions Major moving up there, even as there's heavy fighting in the centre. There's basically taking advantage of the centre engagement to push up the left flank and try and unseat HeroicServant there. Nice move there, I think, for Dave. A very nice move. You've got a smoke screen on the MG42. Good use of it there, though he could try and push further ahead, but his centre resources, or forces in this case, are rather exhausted, and so it can't be pushed ahead. Stormtroopers counterattacking the Captain here. Veteran defeat already. Pretty good there, pretty good. Not underestimate the power of Veteran C3 Stormtroopers. But again, Veteran C3 for Stormtroopers with assault rifles is absolutely godlike. Anti-tank and landing a good hit there on the 222. Very good hit there, pushing it back. But not quite able to destroy it, and he actually ends up losing a unit here to HeroicServant. Back here, nothing further. He could actually go for a Sherman, but there's a part of Dave that might actually not be tempted by the Pershing. And we got another Panther 4 there on the way for HeroicServant. More armour, more tanks, more Panzers, more Deutschland.
We can now deploy a smoke screen to blind the enemy. Getting hammered here!
Plenty here keeping the right flank clear of any infantry harassment. That's going to actually force HeroicServant to have to dispatch a larger force, but so far it's not. I also think Dave should consider he's laying down another mine with the M20 here versus HeroicServant. That mine, by the way, is barely operable, but it's still there. Smokescreen on the centre here. Good job laying down smoke. Let's make it hard here to attack for the point there with any sort of support. Of course, it allows his opponent to mostly close in, but if he sets up correctly, he can just draw his opponent into his own support weapons while denying his opponent the use of his support weapons. Other storms there repulsed. We've got a bit of harassment up here, but that's quickly stopped by the mines. Good work. The east, though, the Grenadiers have successfully made gains, and the Jackson obviously can't stop it. So it's not really meant for dealing with that. Got the M20 they're moving in, charging forwards. Close to Veteran 3 actually. Oh, Panther Fast barked out. That was pretty lucky for Dave there, and the Lieutenant quickly cuts off the retreat path. Panther 4 supporting them in the centre, other one doing a bit of damage as well. I do think at this point HeroicServant needs to try and consider flank here. Push up the east side, go for the Jackson, then sort of get behind here and sort of cut off the retreat path to force around the centre. We try to take head on into the anti-tank gun, that's not going to work out frightfully well there for HeroicServant long term. Of course, another Panther 4 would also soon be another option. Again, he's got fuel, he just needs the manpower. So, I mean, a third Panther 4 here and a big push could actually be quite successful. In particular, actually go for a mortar. Go mortar and then lay down the smoke screen around here. Then he could charge the anti-tank and most likely with a Panther Force and then deal with the Jackson at his leisure. Because in this sort of engagement, the anti-tank would probably be the bigger threat due to its much higher rate of fire and the fact its armor-piercing rounds can easily deal with the Panther 4. Whereas again with Jackson, its rate of fire is too slow to be able to deal with a swarm of Panther Force effectively. Gonna hit team with the rifle, almost got them, but no, they get away. Anti-tank, and oh, misclick here by Dave. Oh dear, maybe an attack move order that went wrong. Either way though, anti-tank and quite a loss there for Dave. Quite a loss. Definitely a gain there for HeroicServant. We get wrecked. Those forces front. We actually got a 50 cover up there for Dave. That's good to see. That is very good to see. Unit annihilated. Looks like the echelon anti-tank team might have bitten the dust of perhaps some riflemen. Maybe a captain. Hard to entirely say there from the remains. So there you go, force away from the centre, and there you go, the anti-tank and plus a bazooka is now open for HeroicServant's gaining. 50 cover there, trying to stall them, and meanwhile healing reinforcing them up here. And I definitely feel like now Dave is aiming for the Pershing heavy tank. HeroicServant, they've still got a lot of fuel. I mean, honestly, at this point, it would not be a bad idea to then try and escalate to phase 3. It's got 2 Panzer IV out, it's still an anti-tank gun, go for phase 3. Aim for a Panther, for example, maybe a Sturm Panzer or a Panzerwerfer, and that way to push against Dave's sort of bigger tanks there. I think that would be a pretty good idea there for HeroicServant, trying to get just consistently flooding so much fuel. And that could pop skirmish, and certainly a pair of Panzer Force working with a Panther would be a very, I think, challenging problem for Dave's Pershing, even supported with a Jackson. I mean, I think would be a good idea there for HeroicServant to consider. Just, you know, try and spend that fuel a bit more efficiently. Try and spend that fuel a bit more efficiently. Still a mortar from him. Dave on the other hand pushing ahead here, laying down a smoke screen with a zone mortar. Very good work there. In fact, so you might notice with the timing, there's actually a preemptive one. He was expecting to push ahead here. Wasn't, I think, quite expecting the MD-42 there, but he was actually setting up there, you know, expecting around here, then rushing it from up close. So, yeah, nice planning there from Dave. Again, he lacked the reconnaissance to make it fully work, and he doesn't have the majors who couldn't call it air reconnaissance, but no, I like the idea there. I definitely like the idea there from Dave, that's for sure. These two can lead for the lap machine of the M20 now, Veteran 3. Noting, by the way, Dave is dreadfully far behind HeroicServant in terms of victory points. In that regard, he's got a fat lead over Dave and the 9th Armoured. Jackson there closing in victory 2. HeroicServant needs to change up his armour tactics. He needs to go in for a more decisive push with his Panzers, and he'll try and knock out that Jackson before it gets too much experience. So again, more Panzer Force would be an excellent choice, or, you know, again, taking up for something bigger. An M20 mine covering the flank. Excellent stuff there. Quite unpleasant for HeroicServant. He actually hits it with one of his Panzer IV or any other armour he might aim for. Dave also has got the resources here for combined arms now. That could also be a pretty good idea there for him, but he's getting ever closer to the Pershing now. In fact, just needs the manpower. Panzer IV advances, Pack 4 supporting. But no real sort of supporting elements. That's a pretty risky move there. Smoke screen down from Dave actually, but in this case will actually allow, I think, HeroicServant to get away, but then again, it's just as much to cover his rifle attack on this forward ahead there, so even if it helps him, it's not going to help for long because his rifleman hot in pursuit. In this case, his MD-42 can't help him, popping incendiary armor-piercing rounds, but it's no use, so nice counter-attack there by Dave, utilising smoke. I mean, overall, Dave's actually made pretty good use of smoke screens from his mortar, that's astounding. In these step Panzer IV, oh, Scheiße! Hits the mine, killing several grenadiers around it as well. Oh dear, that's a huge loss for HeroicServant. And now Dave calls in the Pershing. He's flooding 300 fuel. Come on, HeroicServant, spend some of it. Veteran's on the anti-tank gun, almost got the M20 there. 17 kills, Jackson. Veteran 2 falls back here. Panzer IV moving up with only half health. That's a pretty risky move there by HeroicServant. That's the Panzer IV. We got the Jackson here, or the Pershing here as well. Now to support the Jackson and the M20, even using HVAC rounds here, trying to get the Panzer IV. In this case, the Panzer IV was just beyond the range of Dave's Pershing heavy tank. That was damn close there. Damn close. But he needs to get out some Stoogs here. I mean, a pair of Stoogs I think is going to be the best choice for the Pershing. I mean, again, had he taken up, you know, ahead, gone for Panthers, that could also been an option. But for now, it's going to have to be Stoogs. It's going to have to be Stoogs. There is nothing else I think can sort of really help him here but Stoogs. Shot bounce off the Pershing's frontal armour. Mortar moving ahead again here for Dave and the 9th Armoured. Got the Stormtrooper moving ahead here. 33 kills, not bad at all. But imagine the kills they could have done with assault rifles. They could have done a lot more killing, I imagine. In the west, Rifleman Reaction coming up there. In the east, a push for the cost points and resources there. Good work. But it's weak that we're sending. He's trying to occupy the opponent there. He's anti-tank and firing. He's actually making use of take aim, and that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Armor-piercing rounds. Take aim. Penetrating the front side of the person there from safe distance. My God. It's pure American armor-piercing rounds going through our armor. Damn. Didn't know our tanks were that bad. Up here fixing up the M20. Panzer IV moving down there. 15 kills. But still, he's filling so much fuel. I think HeroicServant at this point is aiming for the Tiger Ace. Honestly, that actually feels like a bad choice when he's got so much fuel he'll be doing a lot more with versus Dave, but it very much looks like he is dead set on Tiger Aces. He's losing his anti-tank and sees Dave pulls in a good flank, got grenades off there, doing some damage but not enough. Panzer IV there being engaged by the Jackson before quickly disengaging. And Stormtroopers being bombarded here by Dave's Pershing. And the tank and recruit here. So yeah, aiming for a Tiger Ace. Bit risky in the current circumstances. He makes it really good use, of course all paid off, but considering how he's used his Panzer IVs, I'm not too confident HeroicServant will actually get the most use out of the Tiger Ace. Again, Panthers might actually be a better choice here for HeroicServant than a Tiger Ace. Again, he's got the fuel to pay for it easily. In that regard, the most probative thing is actually probably the manpower investment required to get there. I mean, in terms of manpower, going for a Panther is actually one of the most expensive things you can do in the game. You have to pay so much manpower for it. But again, that's probably still cheaper than going for the Tiger Ace, especially long term. Because the Tiger Ace is obviously the most expensive thing in terms of manpower up front, and of course long term. And I kind of still think they should just replace it with the King Tiger you built at your Heavy Panzer Corps. There goes Stormtrooper taking heavy damage here from the Pershing and the M20 there. 20 kills. Pioneers pushing up through the centre. We got Pioneers pushing up right from the west. We got the Jackson falling back.
A capture point is being overrun.
And Pioneers still getting blasted by the Pershing. 6 kills. And Panzer IV landing a good hit on the Rifleman. Right flank gets a push up there by the Pioneers with a bazooka. Trying to take a bit of a disconcerting hit. We got Mice up to cover the flanks here for Dave. Very good work, very good work. HeroicServant is battling for the Tiger Ace. He's not exactly doing it at a very fast pace either, so I mean he's ultimately just not helping himself much with that one either. I mean he needs to make a decision though, really. If he wants to go for the Tiger Ace, aim for it fast. Otherwise, you know, tech up and go for some more armor. Just go for some more armor, really. Stormtroopers are being slowly wiped out there by Dave's Pershing and other elements there. HeroicServant actually feels very much from the defense now. He feels much more reactive to an extent versus Dave. I mean, he's obviously making some movements here and there, but there's certainly something that makes me just feel like he's just more reactive than active. But it's certainly nature there. And he's actually gone for a second munitions cache. Dave wants those munitions. America demands those munitions. Panzer IV very close to it too. There, 21 kills. It's definitely had an impact there for Dave. Definitely had an impact. I mean, he's used to take out essentially amounts of Panther IV. He's done 21 kills with it. Otherwise, I mean, that M20 has been pretty good there for him.
Capture point is being overrun.
That M20 has been pretty damn good for him. In the centre, we got Stormtroopers again pushing forwards. With no support, no smoke screens, no nothing. HeroicServant could certainly learn a thing or two there from Dave in terms of, you know, actually pushing forwards. That mine barrel is still there. There's yet to be anyone to hit it. Pioneer's going to be sneaking up the east. Ooh, going to do direct hit there from the Pershing. Come on, Heroic Servant, make up your mind. You've almost got 500 fuel. 500 bloody fuel.
The capture point is under attack.
Oh well. Storm's coming up, then getting here. The rifleman flanking, doing a bit of damage there. Morgan is pushing in. Outmaneuvering Dave's position here. Slightly working out for him, slightly. But with no armor support, it's going to have a bit of limited impact. There's no more of Dave's infantry storms in there to deal with the Germans. They're finding him. Oh, he's just shooting at the sandbags for some reason. S-mine's going down there. Not bad as such. Tiger is still being increasingly delayed there for HeroicServant. Very, very much delayed. Rifle moving in there, and there you go, forcing the stormtroopers to retreat rapidly and ruthlessly. Almost got the Pioneers there, and they did not make it. Panther 4, Pioneer Veteran 2, they engaged a few units here and there. Need to be careful though. Still, just not getting there. Again, at this point, a Panther would easily. He could probably had about 2 to 3 Panthers by now. Now compare that with a single Tiger Ace. I'm pretty sure those Panthers would have a much bigger impact for HeroicServant. There you go, Pack 4 landing good hit on the Jackson. We've got Riflemen supported by 50 cal pushing ahead here. Grenadiers, Panther 4 fighting in the centre there, left flank being pushed up by Lieutenant. We've got a single Pioneer squad infantry trying to deal with the centre, leaving the Lieutenant to push through freely. He's actually gone for grenades now. Good work. Right now would be actually a good choice for combined arms with Dave here, but he doesn't. So we've got a big smoke screen here on the anti-tank gun position. He now pushes ahead with the Jackson supported by the Pershing. Quickly clearing up. HeroicServant and tank defence, and now he's getting very close to the targets. But no, decides still to reinforce, even in these dire straits. He still chooses to down-prioritise the target despite that being his plan again, just putting some of his resources in limbo. Make up your bloody mind, HeroicServant. Make up your bloody mind. And again, he does it again. He's really not doing himself any favours whatsoever. That much is for sure. Bit more shooting there. Lieutenant being pushed back and forcing up around the centre. And Dave has been rather carefully chasing, basically sort of gotten rather nicely back because again he's been using his resources a lot more efficiently than the HeroicServant's been using his. And again, who's been consistently floating around close to the target, but never actually getting the resource for it because he just can't wait a bit longer. And perhaps also highlights the fact his route strategy might be too manpower heavy again to just rely on target races. But there you go, finally caught it in, almost 40 minutes into the game. Definitely feels a bit too late for me. There you go, the ace arrives, shoots, misses the rifleman. There you go, second hit, though, shatters numerous of them, leaving them dying on the ground. Following up with the second Jackson there, Dave's response is pretty much swift and decisive here. We got more mines being laid down by the way. I mean, if the Tiger Ace hits any of those mines, that's pretty much going to be GG there for HeroicServant because that ace is then going to be going nowhere. And with 2 Jacks out in the field, that Tiger Ace will not last very long if it's immobilized. I mean, that M20 is really paying itself off here for Dave, especially again, he immobilizes the Tiger Ace. Really, he's been able to keep it quite well alive. Generally, you won't see them survive, you know, almost, you know, into the 40-minute mark. And 4. Tiger Ace getting the person in the centre, tank taking the front support here, clearing out the 50 cal position. Anish Jackson with then 2014 engaging Grenadiers in the west. More pressure here. Dave just keeping the offensive now again. He is the one with the initiative and he's not afraid to use it against the HeroicServant. He's wielding it like a cudgel. Smokescreen down there to allow the Tiger to get away. Shoots at the Jackson, gets off a decent hit there, but not enough to dissuade it. And to tank and wiped out. Panzer IV rush back here for HeroicServant. Rather there getting plus from heavy tank fire. Jackson moving about to get the front line pretty close. And got another one shooting at some retreating stormtroopers. Very close to the fleet. Panzer IV taking it from the Jackson. Another Jackson moving about here. There you go. Got 8 rounds up. And Trent supporting him in this case, possibly the scouting fire. There you go. Gets a good hit. Better you see there. Pat wiped. Oh dear. HeroicServant certainly getting short and everything now. Getting very, very short. And he's got almost 600 fuel now. Dave following up here with some ranges. Again, he's not the one stuck with a severe manpower disability by now. Not one bit. Pioneers moving ahead. Panzer IV, Tiger Ace.
Send your orders.
Needs to will them a lot more aggressively than he currently is for it to make sense. But right now, again, he's just handing more and more advantage over to Dave by just sitting about doing nothing with them. A much bigger advantage than he probably cared to think about.
Squad.
38 kills. 18. That's impressive.
Armor here.
18 versus 6 kills there. Storms return the centre and they are quickly dissuaded from taking that centre victory point. He's not even trying to take the one there. Dear. He's really being out of victory points fast now here versus Dave. And the 9th Armoured.
Standing by. Squad, shut everyone. Armor ready.
Jackson moving up the west there.
Armor ready.
Pretty quiet here. Again, for Dave, he can easily do that because he's not the one bleeding, you know, a lot of manpower every moment that passes by. So, I mean, he's got the victory points, he's got the resource advantage. I mean, he just needs to allow HeroicServant to just toss this away, if you will. And again, he can just stick in there, which he's doing, which again only makes it more difficult for HeroicServant to get anywhere. Smokescreen down. And these quick to retreat, almost got the stormtroopers there. And we got the Jackson sitting up, looks like for a flank here against HeroicServant's Tiger Ace. Oh dear.
Send your orders.
I don't think HeroicServant's aware what's going to happen there before it's too late. Mine, by the way, is still there. It hasn't done anything, though it is still there. It's getting to a steady bit of there you go. Could have been set, I think, better flank, but ultimately still pulls it off. Here you got the person tank from the front. Jackson's now engaging it. Pop 8 rounds again. The Tiger Ace, low on health. Popping into the base there. 8 strap rounds, hits off the shrubbery instead. Got the anti-tanker there. Tiger Ace pushes forwards again. 2-2, almost down, but not quite there. That's actually done a lot less than he intended, to be honest. And there you go. Tiger Ace taking a lot of damage here from the Pershings. The Jacksons. Got one of the Jacksons, but not the Ace. Not the Ace. Pershing moves ahead here, and oh, shot bounces. Panzer IV moves to shoot. Another hit, then the Pershing, cluster losing the Pershing, cluster losing the Pershing. Panzer IV almost knocked out. There we go, main gun destroyed on the Pershing. Tiger Ace gets it. Panzer IV pulls back. Jackson moves ahead, but needs to be careful here. Could get the 2-2 though, and gets it. Moving in the Panzer IV to try and get the veteran free Jackson with a sliver of health. I don't know. Don't think that's going to be a great idea. Almost lost it there, in fact, to the Jackson moving in the Tiger Ace. And, oh, attack rounding, he got it! He was trying to get the Panzer IV, he got the Ace. Bad news there for, oh, somewhat good news. I mean, he's getting a lot more manpower, and the problem is he can't do anything with it in time because he's just being out so fast, and Dave's got a bigger force than him. In theory, there's a chance he can, you know, somehow pull through. If he can somehow stabilise and then use all the fuel he's actually stored up for something. He's got 600 fuel. 6.
Unit ready and on the field.
That's at least 4 pounds of force. There you go, we already got another Jackson perching out there for Dave. We still got the Veteran 3 Jackson, and we still got the Veteran 3 M20. So chances are not looking encouraging there for HeroicServant, not looking encouraging. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss here for HeroicServant again. Started out well, but he ran into a pitfall some German players do, in general some players do, which is he wasn't able to utilise his resources efficiently. He was much too slow in taking up the could approach ahead with an early Ostman, for example, versus Dave, which could have been, I think, quite critical, but he didn't. Again, his Panzer IV came out later than Dave's Jackson again, despite having a sizable resource lead. That was one issue there for HeroicServant. I also think that he should have upgraded one of the Stormtroopers with the assault rifles. That would also benefited him a lot better than just 2 squads with G43s. And even then again, the Tigers was just a mistake. He was just consistently filling so many resources. But again, he should probably just take the hit for a Panther and just push ahead. Just gone for a lot of Panzer IV. So in that regard, HeroicServant sort of mid to late game rather fell apart due to not very efficient resource usage. Staying on the hand, make good use of maneuvers, smoke, and overall utilise his resources a lot better. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, want to subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Link saying cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you tomorrow for another exciting episode.